Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dielo Tai. Thanks for joining me. Tonight I'm going to be showing you how to use Aristois because, as you probably all know, 2B2T has updated to 1.12.1 and the only working hacked client currently is Aristois. So you can get it from the download link I posted in the description under the video. Be careful, there will be some ads popping up, so careful what you click, but other than that you can still totally get it from there. The installation is rather easy too. You just double click the .jar file and it takes care of everything else. You just start it up from your launcher as you would any other client. So let me show you around the GUI. Explain what hacks to use, which ones actually work. Now I'm not going to be stopping over every hack, explaining what it does, what it doesn't. If you play on 2B, you probably know that. If you don't, you should, so research on that. I'm just gonna show you which ones to have turned on, which ones actually work after the update. So currently, as you can see, I only have turned on the active modes option so that we can actually see over here what we have turned on, and full bright, because without full bright, oh yeah, it's not night anymore, so you don't need to have it on, but I still have throughout the day as well. So let's start in the movement GUI. Only things you will be using from the movement GUI will be FreeCam, you know what that does, and extra elytra for infinite or quote-unquote infinite flying. You can use the Jesus hack, but only while riding an entity, so like a pig or a horse. You can totally use that across water. You can use boat fly, but just like second long toggles. You can use inventory walk and have that turned on by default. It's really nifty to have because you can actually walk with your inventory open, even run with your inventory open. So that's cool to have. What else do we got here? Speed, you can play around a bit with boat speed, horse speed and walk speed. Don't set it too much over 1 because then you will be going insanely fast and will probably just get kicked or glitch into a unloaded chunk. Nothing there to explain more in the movement GUI. Now if you go to the GUI itself, you will probably want to have the HUD turned on. There you go, ping, online users, FPS. And on the other side, you cannot actually see it because I have my overlay there, but the chords are there. You can also turn on the radar, which is a pretty nifty thing to have. It shows mobs and players. And you can turn on mini player so that you can see yourself, but that's just, I mean, a bit vain. You can also mess around with the GUI color, with the max mods in each of the sections and the GUI scale. But the easier thing to do with the GUI scale is actually to just press the plus and the minus sign on your numeric keypad, and that way you can set the size the way you like. You can also move the individual sections around, so you can set it up precisely as you want it. I'm not gonna mess around with that anymore, and the active mods, you already know what that is. That's just a list of mods that you currently have turned on, showing in your upper right corner. Let's head over to render. Don't forget that you can scroll in these. You can easily forget that there's other mods hiding out there. So what you probably want to turn on is item tracers, player tracers, mob ESP, chest tracers, item ESP, armor HUD, better name tags, chest ESP, and block ESP. I mean, if you have chest ESP, you don't really need the chest tracers. If you want, you can let it turn it on. I don't. X-ray, you can set that to a toggle. Player ESP, if you want, no weather. Mob tracer, trajectories, and Aristois even has waypoints. So that's cool to have. You know, the tracers, there are for your throwables or aimables. And the waypoints, you can set specific coordinates and have them show up on map. It even has dev points, although I haven't been able to test that out yet because I haven't been around Spawn or any other players since the update. Let's go to combat. Auto armor kind of works, but it glitches a bit when you have more than one armor set in your inventory. Auto respawn works, auto disconnect works, so that's the same as auto log. Kill aura works, although it is a bit slower and with a closer reach, with a more limited reach than, for example, futures. And that's pretty much it. You can set some of the settings in aura according to what you are used to, and then just toggle the aura on and off on a keybind, or have it turned on by default. From the auto GUI, you can pretty much use auto reconnect, auto walk, auto mine. Auto totem is a bit glitchy. You have to play around with it a bit, and sometimes it actually replaces your items in the hotbar for some reason, so not the best auto totem out there. The good thing is auto fish works, so for all of you who like to fish and just stay AFK like that, not to log in, you can use auto fish. And from the world GUI, the only thing you will actually be using is timer, which you can actually set to a speed that is to your liking. I have it actually set it to 0.1 because of the added slow-mo effect while jumping or flying. I don't have it actually set to a bind yet, but if I turn it on, you can see I became super slow. That's how you actually use the trick to get off in low TPS. You guys all know that probably by now from my flight school. Shameless plug over there. And that's basically it. So we've got better name tags, inventory walk, chest ESP, player tracers, trajectories, no weather, item tracer, player ESP, mob tracer, armor HUD, block ESP, mini player, mob ESP, item ESP, Fulbright, kill aura, radar, timer possibly if you need it, and the HUD. We mentioned a couple of others like the extra elytra and the free cam that you use when the time is right. So you can see the tracer works, there was a mob there. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, you can still use some of the other here's like middle click friends and for example the skin blinker, which is pretty cool. If you set up 2 skins, you can actually have a quote-unquote animated skin, and you can also mess around with your in-game chat a bit, but I don't really use much of these other things, you know. This is for actually playing the game. So that's basically it, guys. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments or just hop into my Discord. We will probably be quote-unquote stuck on Aristois for a couple of days before the other clients update. I personally know that the future client will be updating in about a week. I don't know about Worst, Xdolf or the others, but until then, just go with Aristois or just try vanilla. It will be interesting for sure. I'm thinking about doing it myself for a couple of days maybe, but for now, just try out the Aristois, guys. If you like this video, check out my channel, check out my other videos, and if you want to stay tuned for more 2B2T content and for more gaming content, just hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.